Hi, it's Danny from Danny Sports Bar here at Patea, looking ahead at the week in the world of sports. And this is a big week for several reasons for us here at Danny's. One is tomorrow night, Wednesday night, the 27th, my wife Lex's birthday party. Always a big event here, always a fun night. We have plenty of food, of course. We've got live music starting around 8 o'clock. And an added bonus this year, it's the day of the first State of Origin game in Australia. And for any of you who haven't yet watched the State of Origin game, do yourself a favor. Turn up a little early for the party. The game starts just after 5 o'clock. New South Wales against Queensland, the two states that absolutely love rugby league. And almost every, or not almost every, a good percentage of the best rugby league players in the world come from one of those two states. And in this three-game series, on Wednesday is the first game of the series for this year. In this three-game series, they play for state pride. So it's an all-star game in a lot of ways, but it's an all-star game with an intensity that you don't see in any other all-star game. And it's hard-hitting, it's fun. The people who are here, we should have a very good crowd. You'll have people from supporting both teams, the Blues of New South Wales, the Maroons of Queensland. That game, State of Origin 1, starts just after 5 o'clock. Wednesday, the 27th, tomorrow of this week here. The other big event this week is the Champions League final. We finally got to the point where all the European leagues are over for the season. We're a couple of weeks away from the World Cup starting. We'll talk about that in a bit. The last two pieces of silverware to hand out, two European competitions. One, the smallest one of the three that they play, is the Conference League, Europa Conference League. That's Wednesday night, 2 a.m. Crystal Palace against Rayo Vallecano. Big game for those two teams. But the game that has everyone in the world much more interested is Saturday night, 11 p.m. They've given us a break on the time this year, 11 p.m. our time here in Thailand. And it's Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain. Probably remember Paris Saint-Germain really won handily in the Champions League final last year. Just like last season, they didn't do all that well in the groups or the league stage, they call it, of the Champions League. But once the knockout stage has begun, they've been the dominant team. Arsenal have not lost a game in the Champions League this season. They had a few draws, but did not lose any games. And now they were in, just by fortune, the easier half of the draw. Doesn't mean anything right now. They got to the final. And realistically, these have probably been, if not the two best teams in Europe this season, two of the three or four best teams in Europe this season. And you could certainly argue they've been the best two. Arsenal won the Premier League, of course, by over Manchester City and everyone else. First time in 22 years. They've never won the Champions League. This is only the second time they've ever been to the final. Paris Saint-Germain, as we said, won last year. They've had a lot more Champions League experience at the late stages of the tournament. But Arsenal, they've played in a lot of big games, obviously, the last several years. They finished second in the Premier League. They went to the Champions League semifinal last year and lost to Paris Saint-Germain. But one game for the European Championship. If you're going to come see us here, I would just advise you come early. We're not taking reservations. First come, first serve. Game kicks off at 11 p.m. There are some other events earlier in the day, including the World Hockey Championship semifinals, 9:20. There's some other things that'll be on TV you can watch leading up to it. But that game, the big game, kicks off at 11 p.m. on Saturday night. So just a little bit on some other events this week. The French Open continues. It's the first full week at Roland Garros in Paris. The final, the women's and men's final, not this weekend, but the following weekend. As I said, the World Hockey quarterfinals are Thursday night. The semifinals, both semifinals on Saturday night. The finals late night, 1:20 a.m. on Sunday night. That goes on. The IPL in Indian Premier League Cricket, they're in their playoffs this week. That final is at 9 p.m. on Sunday. So that's going on. There's also a MotoGP this weekend, Grand Prix at 7 p.m. on Sunday. And I'm going to be gone the next 3 weeks, so I'll give you just a quick thing on what comes up after this week. As I said, French Open finals, not this weekend, but next weekend. Also, not this weekend, but next weekend, Formula One finally gets to Europe. And what that means is 8 p.m. starts for the Grand Prix. The first one in Europe is in Monaco that first weekend in June. And that's the next Formula One race. Also, of course, the World Cup. World Cup kicks off first game, Mexico against South Africa, our time the night of June 11th, early morning June 12th at 2 a.m. We will have that game. We are not going to show every single World Cup game. We're going to show, I would say, most of them, and we'll show any of them that people will have interest in, with the exception of one day that we have to close because of elections here in Pattaya. Other than that, we'll be showing the great majority of games, and if you're looking for any of the big games, you can be pretty sure we'll be showing. Follow along on our Facebook page, online, on X, any of them. We will keep you abreast of what games are going to be shown live here, which ones won't. But most of them will be. That, as I said, kicks off the night of June 11th and goes right into the middle of July for the final. And, of course, in the knockout stage, I think we'll probably end up showing all the games. But that comes up in a couple of weeks. Plenty going on all the way through into the summer. And it should be a lot of fun here at Danny's. Just remember our party tomorrow night for Alex's birthday. Come see us.